My name is Troy Blackwell. I know that I'm a new face to many of you, but I'm a proud Afro-Latino from the South Bronx, New York. I got into this work because at the age of 18, unfortunately, I was the victim of a hate crime. Today, I stand before you as one of the first non-binary candidates to run in the DNC's 177-year history. I'm proud to be the only Afro-Latino in this race. I'm asking you to take a chance on someone like me, a proud non-binary Afro-Latino from the South Bronx.
The final tally of votes, Troy Blackwell, 0.
What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel, back with another video. Now, y'all, the DNC has just had a contest, if you will. Something my supervising attorney used to call a beauty pageant, where people come and they parade around and they give you their best presentation, try to get the gig. Well, people have marketed themselves to the DNC, the Democrats, and try to become the next wave of leadership in that party. Well, not only was it laughable, probably the most hilarious thing I've seen so far in 2025, not only was it that, we're looking at a situation where it's pretty pathetic. Yeah, it's funny, but it's pathetic at the same time because I'm looking at all these Black folk who are wedded to this party, who are committed to this party, who are dedicated to this party, no matter what. See, they tried to fool us, y'all. This is the thing. They tried to fool us and tell us, oh, it was about the first Black president, right? It was about Barack Obama. And then his policies were garbage. His policies didn't help Black folks at all. Black folks ended up worse off than they had been before his presidency. But they wouldn't leave the plantation, which was weird. And then they said, oh, it's about Joe Biden. Well, Joe Biden was attached to Barack Obama. And y'all just go hop on this train and ride this out? Well, they come to find out, y'all, being stuck on that plantation didn't benefit them at all. It wasn't about Barack. It wasn't about Biden. No, it was about that plantation and blackity blacks being wedded to that Democrat Party. That is the problem. And here we have, in this laughable display, the blackity blacks coming forward, y'all, and saying, this is our party, this is who we are, this is what we represent, and y'all should get on board and stick with us as we are chained to this whipping post on this blackity black plantation.
Welcome. The Democratic National Committee wishes to acknowledge that we gather together to state our values on lands that have been stewarded through many centuries by the ancestors and the descendants of tribal nations who have been here since time immemorial. We honor the communities native to this continent and recognize that our country was built on indigenous lands and hope.
My people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. We are sick and tired of being the last one hired and the first one fired. We are sick and tired of the word white, working class, being a code word for whiteness. We are tired, and this is our time for us to rise up. One people, one nation, under the divine, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, Democrats. Hey, I am speaking, and I would love your attention. There is a Black woman at this podium, and I deserve your attention like the 11 people who went before me. Yes, I am speaking.
Good evening, Democrats. Look up here. 3 strong Black women standing before you. 3 Black women who, rather than just grabbing a chair, ran for chair.
Te quiero mucho, Papa. Gracias por todo. My name is Artie Blanco, Freddie Blanco's daughter. Vote for me for vice chair.
Look at this room, y'all. Truly take it in. This is the Democratic Party. We are our strongest when we stand together.
We are in a time in this country when our democracy and our rights are under attack. We're at a time where Black and brown people, women, and other minorities are being blamed for everything that's wrong with this country.
So let's fight together for a stronger and more inclusive Democratic Party. Good afternoon, DNC! Let me say something. Over the last several days, we've seen what happens when we have the wrong people in powerful places. And so today, I ask for your support in electing me as your DNC vice chair, because in a time of crisis, leadership matters.
My people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. We are sick and tired of being the last one hired and the first one fired. We are sick and tired of the...
And I've spent the last 15 years fighting for the American people, all 340 million of them.
Work to do to organize, show up, and win. And that is why I'm asking the people who have stood with me in this ride, because you know the work that I do to protect the vote.
Y'all, don't you find it interesting that this black woman could stand before y'all and try to pitch herself and sell herself for leadership of the Democrat Party? And she gonna say, oh, well, I'm keeping it real. Well, mother, them pearls don't look real. That hair don't look real. Them lashes don't look real. I would suspect that your education ain't real, your perspective ain't real, your attitude ain't real, them nails ain't real. But you call yourself keeping it real with the people. No, we ain't falling for it, sis. We need you to go back. We need you to take a look in the mirror. We need you to be self-aware. We need you to get yourself together and then come back and represent the community in a real way. In a real way, not a fake way, an artificial way, not a synthetic way. We need you to come before the people and keep it real. Take that wig off and show us your real hair, sis.
In October of 2024, a large part, about 1/3 of Trump's advertising budget, went specifically to this one ad. It was about gender-changing surgeries for a small number of transgender, incarcerated, undocumented immigrants. These particular ads ended with the line, "Kamala is for they, them. President Trump is for you." Governor O'Malley, I want to start with you. How should Democrats respond to this attack?
Our party has to live its values. And you can do both. I thought Governor Beshear's op-ed in the New York Times several months ago was absolutely right. We can focus on what unites all parts of our coalition, right? Think about this in Minnesota. What unites a corn farmer with a steel worker on the Iron Range with a new refugee in the Twin Cities? It's economics, right? It's kitchen table issues. It's what Faz was talking about. At the end of the day, we can focus on that, the things that unite. But when people are being harassed and bullied and pushed out of conversations and attacked, of course, we're going to live our values, because I agree with Governor O'Malley. Everyone has dignity. Our party believes that no matter where you're from, no matter where you live, no matter who you love or who you are, you have dignity, and we're going to fight for you. And that's what we're going to do as a Democratic Party.
Let me just start by saying we have one team. One team. That's right. The Democratic Party. We have one fight. We have one fight. The fight's not in here. The fight's out there, right? The fight's not in here. The fight is for our values. The fight is for working people. The fight right now is against Donald Trump and the billionaires who bought this country. That's the fight, not in here. I want to thank all of you. Thank you to the DNC members who have put their faith in my vision for our party. I am honored and humbled for every one of you who supported me.
Hi, I'm Ken Martin, the new chair of the Democratic National Committee. I am so honored to serve in this role. Let me tell you 3 quick things about myself. 1, I've been the chair of the Minnesota DFL, which is the Democratic Farmer Labor Party, for the last 14 years. Two, and more importantly, we've used the power that we built in Minnesota to have generational change that's impacting the lives of hundreds of thousands of Minnesotans right now. Three, we need to expand this model nationwide. We need to contest races up and down the ballot, and we need to win in every zip code for this Democratic Party, most importantly, for our values. There are millions of Americans who are relying on us right now to meet this moment, and I'm excited to be in this fight with you.
Well, as you can see, y'all, being bald-headed, being realer than real, don't make you authentic to the community. You can still be on that slave plantation and be as real as you need to be. You can be bald-headed, or you can have an afro that thick and still be wedded to an ideology that is of a slave mentality. You don't mean no good to the Black community. Black folks don't need a handout. Black folks need to get to work. They need to use the energy that they have, that innate energy, that innate excitement, that thing that God placed in your heart. I need you to use that thing for the greater good. Stop putting it towards things that will deteriorate the community. Because Pookie and Ray Ray, we've had enough of y'all. We've had enough of you standing on the block, doing what you do. We ain't got to talk about it here. We've had enough of it. We want our grandmamas to be able to walk down the street to the corner store, walk down the street to the pharmacy, get their medicine, do what they need to do. Because of you, Pookie and Ray Ray, the pharmacies are moving up out the hood. Walgreens, CVS, they're getting up out of there because of things that you have done to the community, Pookie and Ray Ray Nim. It is your fault. And sometimes these mothers and aunties and grannies won't tell on you because they love you so much. They know you bad for the community. They know you bad for the family. They know you bad for the legacy. They don't want to tell on you because they love you. Listen, if we are going to be better, we're going to have to get rid of some folks that ain't making us better. Mother, auntie, granny. Y'all done ran the retail outlets. Y'all know when Walmart leave, as in Oakland, California, over there in the Hagenberger corridor, when Walmart get up, it's a big old problem. Well, that is happening across this nation because blackity blacks who are wedded to a party like this, a party of DEI, a party of handouts, a party of governmental dependency. When you put them in charge, you see what happens. Well, y'all, we got 4 years of a little turnaround situation. We gonna see how it go. We gonna see where it takes us. And I hope some of y'all get on your horse and ride, mount up. It's not that you are not capable. It's that you're uninspired because the government has allowed you to be. Well, it's a new sheriff in town, y'all. And I hope you find some inspiration in this new administration that will allow you to get out there and be the best you can be. Because this ain't it.
Are you ready to go on the offense? Yeah! Are you ready to go on the offense? Yeah! We have to win back our young people. I am the only candidate in this race for any of these positions that is under 30. We had a 20-point shift to the right of our young people. We must show our young people we give a damn about them, that we support them, and we invest in them. I have raised over $11 million in the past year to support the future of our party, because I don't just tweet, I don't just talk the talk, I also walk the walk and I knock the knock in doors across the country, but I'm counting on you in this moment right now. I need your support. Please vote for me. Thank you so much.
Now, y'all, they have appointed David Hogg to be in leadership of the Democrat Party to recruit young men. This anti-Second Amendment gun-grabbing young man, let's put it that way. They have put this man in power. They have voted him in. And he gonna go out here and recruit who? What? The confused people? The people in the middle the people caught in the fog? Well, Donald Trump just signed an executive order saying there are two genders in America. There's a he side and there's a she side. Ain't no in between, ain't no on the outskirts. No, ain't none of that. You got two choices. Which one you gonna be? Well, we know what David Hogg supports. We know what David Hogg represents. And if you gonna put the blackity blacks in power and stand them next to a David Hogg in your Democrat Party, boy, y'all ain't learned nothing. It's getting worse and worse as time goes on. You ain't learned nothing. Donald Trump just getting started. Can you imagine what this Democrat Party will look like in 2028? Let alone that, let's get to the midterms. Can you imagine what this Democrat Party is going to look like in 2026? Y'all going to get blown out again, and the majority is going to grow in the House and the Senate. This is my prediction. I'm going to make that prediction in 2025. Let's see how this video ages. We're putting David Hogg in leadership of the Democrat Party, along with these fake blackity blacks that are wedded to the plantation and gonna get out here and try to sell a bill of goods to the community. No, that is not a winning formula. Y'all will continue to lose if you don't learn your lesson.
Specify that when we have a gender non-binary candidate or officer, the non-binary individual is counted as neither male nor female, and the remaining 6 offices must be gender balanced. With the results of the previous 4 elections, our elected officers are currently 2 male and 2 female. In order to be gender balanced, we must elect 1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any gender. So again, this is what we have to do for this vice chair race. We have to elect 1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any gender. To ensure our process accounts for male, female, and non-binary candidates, we conferred with our RBC co-chair, our LGBT caucus co-chair, and others to ensure that the process is inclusive and meets the gender balance requirements in our rules. To do this, our process will be slightly different than the one outlined to you earlier this week, but I hope you will see that in practice it is simple and transparent. The order of balloting is designed to ensure equal access to the ballot, regardless of gender identity. As we must elect a candidate of any gender as well as 1 male and 1 female vice chair, we will first ask members to elect a candidate of any gender on the first ballot. Any candidate, male, female, and non-binary, can be elected on that ballot. After a candidate is elected on the first ballot, we'll have 1 officer of the 3, so then we will know which position is filled of the 1 male, 1 female, and 1 vice chair of any gender. Our second ballot would also be for a candidate of any gender. Then our third ballot will be the 3rd position that is remaining based on the 2 results. Either a male candidate if a candidate that is not male has not been elected, or a female candidate if a female has not been elected.
Y'all, they so stuck in this gender ideology that they can't even be fair about the voting. They gotta alter the votes and say, hey, we can only have it this way. It's pre-structured. Well, what makes it more DEI than that? We got some preset rules. We got a preset structure in place, and we can't have all males voted in. We can't have all females voted in. No, we got to alter this thing from behind the scenes. We are the puppet masters pulling the strings behind the curtain. And we gonna determine what it is or what it isn't. Y'all, this is some foolishness in this Democrat Party, and I can't see how some of my people that had a big mama like I had, that had a granddaddy like I can't see how some of y'all people can be wedded to this in 2025 and can't break free from this ideology. These folks don't care nothing about y'all. These people don't care nothing about your skin color. They don't care nothing about your ethnicity and your ancestry. They don't care nothing about your fake hair hat, that Indian Remy. They don't care nothing about your fake lashes. None of that stuff matters to these people. What matters is your numbers, because numbers swing votes. And that's all they care about is the votes at the end of the day. So if y'all want to be wedded to this foolishness, then well, go ahead. I know some people who I consider to be very intelligent, but they are wedded to these ideologies, y'all. They are wedded to this party. I can't understand it. I sat next to them in class. I don't get it. I know they're smart. I know they're book smart at least, but when they get out here in society, they are wedded to these ideologies. I don't understand it. Well, maybe it ain't for me to understand. But I know one thing's for sure, two things for certain. It ain't for me to be a part of this Democrat Party that is pulling America down into the doldrums. They don't care. They'll run you right off the cliff.
It's even on gender right now.
It's evenly split.
Yes.
So
I'm so sorry. Hi, Brad Tully, former parliamentarian for the city of Utah. I do have a question, parliamentary inquiry for the chair, if she would. What happens? So that's assuming that that so few candidates get zero that we can sustain 6 additional losses on top of that. What happens if we have 8 candidates who get zero on this round? Do we have to eliminate those 6, or would they be eligible again on a subsequent round? I was saying. So what happens if we?
So it's 4. So
It's down to 4.
Right.
And
But
then
what
it's
happens?
back 4.
But what happens if 8 people get zero and then we eliminate 4? Then we've eliminated 12 candidates of whatever's there. So the question is, so it's down to 4. Let's just say that of the remaining candidates, and I'm not doing math, so please correct my numbers on there. What if 8 candidates get zero? We eliminated an additional 4. Do we have, or 9 or whatever candidates get zero? We eliminate an additional 4. Do we have enough candidates remaining to elect a full slate?
yes.
Even if they're all women who get zero, and then we eliminate based on that?
The motion was, as amended, was that we drop the 4 lowest performing candidates in the next round, 2 men, 2 women, as well as anyone who gets zero, for a maximum, up to 4 gender balanced would get dropped along with zero, for a maximum of 6 people being removed in the next round.
And there you have it, y'all. The foolishness of the DNC continues. I hope that you have learned a thing or two from this video that allows you to divest yourself from that Democrat plantation. Separate yourself, disconnect yourself from that Democrat plantation, and at least, at the very minimum, I'm not saying you got to be a Republican. I'm not. But come with me in the middle and be a registered independent where you can go either way depending on policy, because there are good policies on both sides that may benefit you and your family and your position. And I need you to be better individually so that when we come together, we are the best we can be, so that we can make America great again in the process. I need you to be great. I need me to be great. And when we come together, we will be the greatest that this country has ever seen. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video so we can get more people involved in the conversation, y'all. And like I always say, always remember and never forget, without the gospel, it's just chops. Until next time. Peace.